Hello everyone, Dr. Stillman here, and today Jim and I are going to be talking about the importance of breathing mechanics. Obviously, Jim is a personal trainer of 20 some years, sees a lot of people breathing and using what we call dysfunctional breathing patterns. As a physician, I remember diving down into this area of the literature about a year ago now when I completed Patrick McKeown's Oxygen Advantage Instructor's course and read his book. The sensation of being out of breath is not actually the sensation of low oxygen or that's caused by low oxygen. It's actually high levels of carbon dioxide. And so that's why when you're exercising, you feel out of breath. But if you put on a pulse oximeter that measures your oxygen levels in your blood, you will actually have a completely normal blood oxygen level. And many of you will be surprised that if you, I'm not practicing medicine by the internet, full disclosure, don't do anything that's not safe. But if you hold your breath, you'll notice that when you feel out of breath, your oxygen level is not low. It's normal. It takes a long time for those levels to drop. I know from, having trained and done some free diving that, it takes me minutes sometimes to drop my oxygen levels, even when I'm feeling incredibly out of breath. The thing that carbon dioxide does that people don't appreciate is that, number one, it causes the hemoglobin molecule to change shape and it kicks the oxygen off of it. And then the second thing that it does really is that it increases blood flow. It opens your blood vessels. That's why if you hyperventilate, because when you hyperventilate, you're expelling carbon dioxide. And as you expel it, you're then going to have lower and lower levels in your bloodstream. That's why if you hyperventilate, you can pass out. It's also why if you hyperventilate, you can then hold your breath and you can really drop your oxygen levels. That's actually very dangerous if you're diving. It's why freedivers routinely and are always taught, don't hyperventilate before a dive, because it really increases your likelihood of blacking out, because your early warning system isn't the drop in oxygen in your blood, it's actually the rise in carbon dioxide. So this really surprises people, but I am constantly looking at what is someone's breathing mechanics. I'm watching it in the Zoom calls I'm on. I'm watching it when I'm in person with them as a patient. I'm asking them questions about it. One of the first questionnaires I send them is the Nemagen questionnaire that actually assesses for this, because if a patient is hyperventilating, I know that no amount of drugs, surgeries, pills, potions, magical blankets, magical thinking, meditation is actually going to help that patient. Maybe somewhat helpful, but it's not going to resolve the problem. You have to really take care of these dysfunctional breathing mechanics, which have also a very powerful effect on the autonomic nervous system. And this comes back to what Jim was saying. Before a power lift, you're in the power lift, you need to exert maximal strength and energy. So what do you want? You want all the adrenaline, all the dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, these chemicals that make you stronger, faster, tougher. These are the things that are secreted from the adrenal gland in response to stress. What's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is actually done by freedivers. Freedivers want to use as little oxygen as possible so that they generate as little carbon dioxide as possible so they can stay down at low depth without breathing for as long as possible. So what do their breathe ups, as they call them before they dive, consist of? They take very slow, long breaths, and they have a very prolonged expiratory phase, which means that they're taking a long time to exhale. And they're using diaphragmatic breathing. And all of this will really turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. And so you'll see this in your heart rate, your blood pressure. And people really don't, hear in common, the mainstream media or mainstream circles that just the way you breathe can radically alter your blood pressure, your pulse rate, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're really performing in life. If this video has been helpful to you, make sure that you check out my link tree below to find out how you can keep in touch with me best. And if you would like to become a patient at my practice, please apply to work with me at STILLMANMD.com. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day.